No, not for what I'm thinking. Okay. So we'll do the pledge really quick and. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we're entering our workshop for the sanitary district contract. We'll do a quick roll call. So Nick here, George,
Present.
Laura present, Noel absent, and Rick is absent. And Noel did state she would be a few minutes late as she was finishing up that work. Okay, so we're going to open for, there's a motion to open, or we just workshop it?
Yeah, you just go into workshop.
Okay, so in your packet is the quarterly billing adjusted information, as well as a agreement for the town of Sabattus and sanitary water district.
So that, the agreement I just threw together with, so here's my thing. I know that they would like us to take on all the responsibilities. Payroll, I think the person doing it wants to get done. We are not staffed to handle all of that. So I would like to continue taking payments in the office like we do, because I think that's good for the citizens, especially elderly ones that don't want to go all around. But everything else, they need to pay somebody hourly to do. Because if you look at my sheet, I broke out how much time is spent on different tasks. And it averages out to 11 hours a week. That's a lot of hours that we're spending on somebody else's work.
What's that in cash money?
Oh, I didn't do that.
So,
Oh, okay.
I
Do it for Kate.
got
but reckon, so, a couple questions on
Yep,
that.
yep.
Phone calls.
Yep.
You can't hand those off, because they're gonna call us no matter what.
Oh, correct. Anything to do with taking the payment or a question about a bill, we're gonna have to handle in-house.
Yep.
But the billing, right now, they send us a file with all the bills. We have to print them, we have to correlate them, we have to stuff the envelopes and then mail them out. That's time consuming. They could hire somebody to do that.
So what about the daily cash ups and deposits? You're still gonna have to do that.
Correct.
You're still gonna have to do the checkbook reconciliation,
We
right?
don't have to.
You don't?
Nope,
Okay.
nope, somebody else could do that.
So,
We need to get rid of, I think if we got rid of I'm just concerned about more things coming our way.
I was just wondering if, just in complete full transparency.
Yep.
What does it require of a full body? And do we charge a full body that works out of the office?
See, I don't know as I think there's enough work for a full body. That's why when I said it's it averages out to about 11 hours a week, I don't think it's worth paying it. But what I do think is they hire somebody after hours. TJ would be the perfect one to do it because he's interested in it. After his 40 hours are done here, so he gets done here at whatever time, he clocks out, he clocks back in for them, and they pay him on payroll to do all of these tasks that we don't have time to do during the day. Because he doesn't mind working until midnight every night. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? He just doesn't mind. And he would be a good one to do it, but.
Yeah, but this is him today. Tomorrow, when he's not here.
Don't say that.
Well, I know, but just.
Well, yeah, then they're gonna have to hire somebody else, because they're gonna have to hire somebody to do this regardless.
That's all.
Yeah, right. It could be anybody, and it doesn't necessarily need to be somebody in the office. It's handy if it is, so if a question does come up during the day, it's somebody that knows what's going on, but it doesn't have to be. But I really think we need to get away from the checkbook, and the bills and all of that stuff, and just wait on the customers and their questions.
Somebody else is doing payroll at the moment.
Amy does it,
All right.
and she does the bill paying. She enters the numbers for the meter readings right now, and I know they wanted to give us that as well. I think she'd like to be done, is what the bottom line is. I just don't see it feasible to dump all of that on the staff.
So can you help me
Yep.
with what other towns do?
They have their own departments.
And so Sabattus sanitary and water district is separate from the town
Correct.
somewhat, because they have agreements with Public Works. They use,
Right. So what I have found in Mexico, in my previous, water and sewer are separate entities there. They're not combined into one department. So the water district has their own office. They do all their own work. Sanitary it started out in the office like it is here, but combined with water. So they're combined now, but they have their own office space. They have their own staff. They have everything.
and they're a cost center within the town budget.
Nope, they have their own budget because they're governed by the PUC and their own boards.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't mind taking the payments and what comes with it because I think that's a benefit to the people. I just think the administrative stuff needs to go to somebody else after the 40 hours a week that are being spent here. Whoever, whether it's somebody in this staff that does it after our 40, we shouldn't be responsible for having to pay overtime to our employees because they can't get all their work done during the day because they're doing something else. And that's where, and it does drive that. Some of that is driven by that.
Would it be a possibility to like sublease a space and they have like an office where they come in like 2 days, you could come in either Tuesday, Thursday, and they had somebody here that did the stuff too? Would that be an option?
I don't see why not. If you're going to limit, but at the event, you're going to limit people paying their bills only on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mhm.
But I guess they would probably get used to that.
Then they can mail it in, right?
They can.
And so how many physical customers do we actually get?
We get at least half of that. At least half of that number come in person. We see a lot.
Again, I'd really like to see the number.
Well, we try tracking those little checkbox of things. It doesn't last very long. You get busy with other stuff. That's the problem.
Whatever, I think that, for me, to decide on which direction I want to go, you know, it's like, I'd like to have legit numbers per se, right? So that
See
there's
those?
something to stand on, because I would agree, I think that if we're gonna get rid of some, we should get rid of it all. And they had a full-time office person down there, I think it was full-time before we had that, before it came here.
Yep.
And that would be just as convenient for them,
This is what we're talking about right now.
for water district customers, to pay their bill at the water district, versus coming here. To make them responsible for all of it, or
Are they set up? I've never been in the water district. Are they set up to have an office space?
I'm assuming they are, because she worked out of that office.
Okay. Okay.
And I just have another question.
Mhm.
Is the water district self-contained, like it should be self-sufficient?
I think they have their budget.
Yeah.
Because now, like, you know, kind of anyone, like, where are we, west of like the town office that doesn't have water and sewer
Mhm.
essentially is paying for admin people for water and sewer, right? If they're paying for clerks and
Yep.
things, like they're not
Right.
being so.
Because I don't have the addendum here to the contract, but
You don't?
where are we with pay now?
On the back,
It's
well,
only $10,000.
is that what we're paying right now, or what they're paying right now?
Right, I believe it's 10,000.
And they want to keep it the same?
They haven't said.
Oh.
They
Oh,
haven't said.
okay.
This is just us talking
Oh,
about.
I thought that was this was their proposal.
No,
Okay.
no, that was something I threw together with what I was thinking.
Okay.
I mean, they're not gonna like that, but it,
Oh, it has to be, wait, so what is our lowest paid admin staff?
24.
So based on the hours of what we're suggesting,
Mhm.
divide that out by the 10,000, we'd only be getting $20 an hour
So if you take
So,
11, it'd be 14.50.
at a minimum. We'd have to go to that.
Because then that doesn't include like, you know, those.
Benefits and all that other stuff.
And that's one reason why some towns do exactly what's going on here, because then they're not responsible for any kind of payroll taxes. They're not responsible for any of that. Yeah. but it really does, it sticks the town, because it ends up causing overtime, and then who's paying the overtime? It's not them. Yep.
Well,
So,
again, they're decision sometimes to their work schedule. Today is shut off, go to stay.
oh yeah, that's a fiasco.
And they don't care what's happening here on
They
this
do
side. you know,
No,
it's
because
like-
I actually caused a little bit of a ripple on that, because the last one they had scheduled something was going on. We were going to be really short-staffed or something. And I said, absolutely not. You guys didn't ask. You didn't coordinate this. And we can't do that day, because that ties up one whole person on the phone all day long, trying to work, we're trying to work out arrangements.
Yeah.
So they have to coordinate that, which they did not that time, but they will now.
And I think someone, recently, not recently, but within the last year and a half, they definitely threatened. And it's on the meeting minutes, I have to go through my thing, saying that they will just leave us anyways. Like the water, like, well, we don't need you guys, we'll have someone else do it.
That's
But
what
I know that Paul wanted it to stay in-house.
Paul would like it to stay in-house. Right. And like I said, I don't mind. I mean, George is saying all or nothing. It doesn't make any difference to me one way or the other. I do not mind taking the payments here. If that's what people are used to doing, they want to continue to do that, that's fine. We can field that stuff. It's just the administrative stuff, all of that, the extra work, the bills, and if they want input of information into the computer and all that stuff, pay somebody after hours to do it. Then it's not hitting our budget.
Or came in after that.
But again, looking at end of day, it's
Yep.
cash up. Cash up takes time, and that's
Oh,
where
yes.
overtime builds in, because now that's cashing up 3 separate drawers
You're correct.
is the time consuming stuff.
Yep.
To do, and end of day, so if somebody's already done their 8 hours today, and now
Right.
it takes an hour to cash all 3 things up. And then
Correct.
also, with credit cards now, and the whole transaction, us instead of
Having to cut a check to them.
Right.
Yep.
having to check to them.
Because their system's not set up. That's right.
That's additional work that we gotta do, and
Yep.
they set their system up so they can accept credit card payments.
They can. They didn't want to pay for that.
Oh, okay.
So what is all or nothing? What are you, I know you want all or nothing, what is the sum?
Some.
Like all or nothing, so what is sum that we would be doing?
Oh, okay.
Like,
So my suggestion was to keep the payments here. People are used to making their payments here. Let's just leave that alone so the citizens can come in, do their registration, taxes, pay all their bills.
Okay.
And we deal with the questions that they have about their bills. We can answer the phone if they have a question. That's fine. My suggestion is, because it has been discussed, I believe Amy wants to, I haven't been told this for sure, but this is the gist I'm getting from the conversation, that Amy would like to be done with because she's working a full-time job. She doesn't want to do any of this anymore. It was brought to me, well, maybe you guys could input all the meter readings into the computer. We already do the billing. We are balancing the checkbook. This is all stuff that takes time. So my suggestion is they pay somebody for the administrative tasks. That leaves our staff alone. We'll take the payments, we'll cash the drawer up at the end of the day, but you hire somebody to do all the rest of that stuff.
like their checks, all that. So that's what we are doing now.
She does the accounts payable and receivable, and she does payroll. She currently is doing the meter readings. I was asked about doing those. I said, not at this time.
Mhm.
We do the billing right now, which you wouldn't think is that big of a deal, but it is.
Oh, I believe it is.
Yeah,
Paperwork is-
because we have to print all the bills. We get the files, we print the bills, we have to correlate them because they aren't in any kind of order for whatever reason. So then you get a match your solar and your water together.
Yeah.
And then you mail them out. So it's time consuming. So I think that should go to somebody else. Balancing the checkbook. It's not like our checkbook here. I mean, our personal ones, it takes a good 4 hours because you've got sweep accounts and every other thing going on. It's not an easy balance, so it takes time. So those kind of things, I think they should hire somebody else to do.
I don't recall if you were on the board. Yes, you were on the board when that all actually went down.
I really wasn't. It was before December, wasn't it?
So also though, like we pay the the postage, they go out every quarter, 4 times a year.
Yep.
So we pay the postage,
That comes out of our 10,000. Yep.
and we're right
Oh, really?
around 14,500
No,
dollars.
it should be coming out of ours.
It shouldn't be.
In the contract, it says that they pay the postage.
Maybe Holly bills it separate then.
But we should know the answer.
And then like
Yeah,
the
I'll write
paper,
that down because I'm not positive about that.
like paper envelopes,
They do provide paper and because Holly will let them know if we're getting low and they will buy those.
Again, that's in the prior contract that says that.
And they do have to pay for their portion of the trio for the water and sand, sewer.
Are we printing all the invoices off on our, okay, so we pay our maintenance fees for the copiers, our
Yeah,
per copy, right?
They don't, must have a limit on what we can, but it must be a pretty high limit because we print a lot.
I'm just,
But no, they don't contribute to that. That I know for sure. And somebody asked about the email account. Yeah, that's $5 a month. We pay it. They don't.
but they must have more than one email account,
Nope, just one.
just one for Paul, and nobody else has email,
That's
and
what I
they
was
don't have a
told.
generic one.
Nope, that's what I was told.
Hmm.
And that came from John at the computer place.
so I had sent Mark an email when we did the budget, like.
But it wasn't
Sabattus
Sabattus.
dot org.
Well, that was John, the one that runs our account. So we're only getting charged for one apparently.
And
Or he just doesn't,
know that,
he didn't do his due diligence.
Maybe. Well, that's possible too.
and how many other people are there? So there's Paul and Mark.
And is it JP?
Is that one other?
It's Angie's boyfriend, right?
That's her husband,
Oh,
yeah,
that's her
so it's
husband.
JP. Does Mark still work there?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I know Paul still works there.
I didn't think there was another,
I thought there was one more,
I thought
Maybe.
they were them.
maybe.
but I could be wrong.
They were doing a hydrant today over by Benton, I think. It was,
Who did you see? Did you see Paul, Mark, and JP?
Well, that was a good question.
I was just asking, didn't know if you're pretty out there, but some things you might say.
and then they have an admin now,
They have an admin
a
now?
part-time admin, right, like doing their stuff.
Yes.
I mean, I think we should go up as members and we should be getting paid. I know it's $5 a month, but
Yep, that's
We
why I
should-
threw it on there.
we should get paid for the email.
I think they should be self-sustainable, right? Like, I don't think that, how many, there's 664 customers. I'm assuming the 573 sewer are also in that 664. So
Right.
if we say there's 664, how many residents in Sabattus?
Oh, God.
Right, and so
Right,
I don't
200,
think that those other 4,000 residents should be paying for water and sewer things when they don't have anything.
Like I said, that's not enough for a full-time position, but you could offer, they could be a part-time one.
Part-time position.
Yep.
Um,
And I will say that depending on how this vote goes, on whether we have to clean this building ourselves or not, this is gonna get tough if we're gonna have to clean the whole thing ourselves, depending on the vote in June.
so the other person is Brian Redmond
Where is that, where'd you find that?
on our website.
Is that current?
No idea, but that's what it says.
That's not a name I've heard.
Paul, Mark, John,
Brian.
and Brian.
Maybe.
But John is JP. So I agree with Noel that we need to just kind of go through and say, here's what it's costing to run this. And you have to be responsible for all of those
Hey, sir.
costs. So I think that includes the benefits of a person.
Yep.
We don't want to do those either. And it looks to me, again, I don't know how correct it is, but Mark Duquette, according to this, has an email link.
I'll
So-
double check with John.
I don't know if that's left over from maybe when he was on the board and it never got deleted. I'm not really sure about that.
I mean, can you ask Paul as well?
Okay.
Hey, Rick,
Right?
do you know what the current numbers of the sanitary department?
Mhm.
Who are they?
On the board,
No, we're.
Employees, are there four?
JP Mitchell, Brian Redmond, who's
No.
part-time, Mark, Paul, that's it. And then me, if they need me on call, or whatever, I do fill in and on call, but I don't now.
The website is current then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
So we were discussing the workload of, I'm getting the impression that I'm thinking that the current person doing the administrative task might not want to continue to do that, maybe considering giving it up. And it was looking like Paul was hoping, I believe, that we would take that on. But I don't think we're staffed. To get that done. And my suggestion is we keep taking the payments here, because I think that's a benefit for the citizens.
Mhm.
And we answer the phone calls, and that means we have to do the daily cash up and that kind of stuff. We'll work that in. But as far as the bills and the checkbook and that kind of stuff, I think that needs to be paid after the fact, after our 40 hours, to whoever would be taking that position.
Mhm.
Could be somebody in this office after 40, if they wanted to do that. That's what we were talking about. Did I do these? Yeah, I did.
I'm a little concerned about
'Cause that's not
the
right.
people up there doing it after the 40. I feel like that's a big conflict of interest. I think we have enough conflict of interest already in the town. I don't think we need to add to it.
So, the town's been doing it for what, past 25 years or more?
I don't know.
They have,
In this office?
yes.
Okay.
And until it got all discombobbled upstairs, that's when everything changed.
Yep.
So,
But they have been doing it. They hired someone on for the last, a year or two? So
The last year.
it's doable then. They did hire someone on, so it's not like it's a new leaf we would be turning.
so what's the issue? Not enough money? Have you asked for more money? I mean,
No, it really, for me, it's not boiling down to money.
Mhm.
For me, it's boiling down to employee hours. And probably more than a couple meetings ago now, I had made the comment of the old staff, and I said I wasn't sure if they just didn't do their jobs or they didn't have time to do them correctly. And Noelle had said, well, you'll figure it out, or we will. And I said, yep, you're right. Well, I have figured it out. They didn't have time to do everything correctly. So when you take the time to do that stuff correctly, we're accumulating overtime to try to do everything correctly here, try to do sanitary stuff correctly. I don't want to be known as the town office that half-asses things. We're going to do things the right way.
did Paul mention anything about having Ron Smith, the auditor, do the reconcile and check reconcile and all that stuff?
Permanently?
Yeah.
No, he has not mentioned that. That would be very helpful, but I would imagine that would be more expensive than just hiring an employee.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I'm talking about the monthly books.
that would be a completely up to
Which
them
I
thing.
don't think it's that bad. It's not.
It's about 4 hours for Holly to
But
do
wouldn't
that.
it be cheaper to have like an
That's
accountant
for-
do it
I would think so.
than to, yeah.
Maybe,
That's what I mean.
Maybe.
That's the
Deb-
accounting.
but like I said, I definitely want the money to be there to justify the means, but I'm looking at staff hours. That's where I'm having a hard time, because the staff upstairs are busy from the time they walk in to the time they leave. They really are. I can honestly say that they are busy. They're doing the tasks from today and they're catching up stuff from before that the staff just didn't have time to do. I mean, I have to give credit where credit was due. I think they did the best they could. And I just think,
And I think previously they were relying on one person most of the time.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely. I think you're right. So I don't know what the board wants to do for a contract or negotiations or go back and, or more information you want me to find, but this is where we're at. This isn't up until December, I think.
Yes.
So we have time.
With time, and again, getting back to the numbers and seeing how much work actually happens every day. You know, how many customers we have, how much time is actually spent actually out.
Yep.
Those two.
To get
Not,
fair, accurate numbers, you need to go a whole quarter and do
Right.
this, because when your bills go out, of course, you're gonna be busier right out of the gate, but then it trickles out. So, and that's why that's an average, because you would really have to keep those numbers for a whole quarter.
Is that what you have here though? Is, you know, they have kind of figured out that
It's just averages, yeah.
that's a rough idea.
Right,
Like, is that not?
no, because it's not accurate enough for me to make an informed choice. You know, this is guesstimating. I mean, I guess if there was, because I asked how many people actually come in and pay in person. If you could run that total out of.
This is just our
Trio.
workshop. I mean, this isn't a negotiation. This is just fact finding. And Paul knew we were meeting. He knew about it.
And the other thing is, if we enter into a contract, 5 years is not an option for me. 2 years is my max.
It was a 3-year contract before, it was almost close to $100,000.
Oh, wow.
What's that?
When everything was being done here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a 3-year, it was $100,000, close to $100,000 in revenue that we were getting.
You know,
Previously, yes.
before this 5-year contract,
I don't know if it's 5.
this is a 5-year.
I thought it was a 3,
This was a 5-year contract,
so it was a 5.
and it's only.
But that was the one now, the one that they went into, but not previously, not since it's changed.
No, this is
What would be the?
before it was
33.
changed.
Because we weren't doing everything. The town wasn't doing everything.
This is before the change in November.
Yeah, this one says, let me see.
What was it per year?
35,000 is the
Okay.
max.
Yeah.
Okay,
Per year.
no, then that's it.
So it started.
I thought it was a 3-year
It
contract.
started as 33,000 to 34,000.
I wouldn't do a 5-year either, I'd do at least a 3-year.
2 or 3. And
I mean, if we do 2, we can sign on for, you know, another one.
that's
you know,
right.
Maybe midway, if it's going well.
I wouldn't throw it all, I wouldn't, definitely not sign it if they can't handle what's going on up there. And are you still thinking about sending payroll out?
No, because that's a cost.
What did you just ask for?
Payroll. If the town was gonna, we used to have a payroll company. We did have it before we had a town manager, which would take a lot away from
Upstairs.
all.
Have you looked into how much that is? I mean, I know what it is for like my place and,
Right.
but
I had contacted, is it ADP?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, ADP.
I'd do it small.
I would not do ADP.
I
I
wouldn't do
currently
that
use them
either.
and I do not like them.
Oh, is that who you use?
Yeah, and I'm not a fan.
Yeah, but no, I haven't, because really payroll isn't, it's not that big of a thing. I mean, that, if you're gonna give up some, that wouldn't be my thing that I would give up.
How long does payroll take?
You're just inputting the numbers at this point. Once it's all set up in the computer, you're just inputting numbers. Payroll isn't that big of an issue when the computer system's working.
So how are we not exporting it? Because I have a software where I just export it to my payroll. And can't you just click on all your employees at work? And if they're timing it, we don't time in and time out on a computer, do we?
No,
Never mind.
that would be nice if we did. We still punch time cards. Yeah.
I mean, we bought a $6,000 camera system that
Does it work?
jumped. I think we should have input it on that. Have you looked into that?
I
know
have
we
not,
talked about
see
it.
if we can, I don't know if we can do that with Trio or not, and that's who we do our payroll through, but yeah, I can find out, because
Just little things.
that would be handy. So they just sign in on their phones and it just exports?
Yeah, mine have to do a QR code and screen, and then it's really easy for me to go in. One of my girls actually today I said, hey, I forgot to clock out on my break. Can you go in? I went in, fixed it, and boom, sent payroll out at 5 tonight.
We have an app that kind of people use to.
Yeah.
So-
I can get a hold of Trio and see if that's something we can make compatible with that, if there's something they offer.
So you're looking for how many people are coming in and paying versus
Yes.
mailing?
Like I said, we've got that's a whole quarter of data that needs to be collected to have, if you really want it that accurate, we've got to do a whole quarter.
Again, I don't, well, we don't necessarily have time to do the quarter, of course.
I don't know, depends on when the next set of bills go out.
June, right? They go out April, January, April, June.
Yeah, we might be able to get another
October.
quarter in there.
But, to see more numbers that are reflective of the work,
Am I only gonna April next month?
yes.
I will be soon.
I pay water, so.
I will be eventually.
It's not a benefit.
How bad is it?
It's not a benefit.
Mm-mm. No, but I am first in.
Is there anything else you're looking for, George?
So let me just check my notes here.
And then you have notes of a 2-year contract.
That's what I produced, I think. Or maybe I did 3, but yeah, 2 years, that's fine.
I put the extra is extra. So,
The
in-
extra is extra.
so in.
Wow, George.
Yeah, I know. Well, number 3, scope of services, quarterly and monthly customer billing. Town staff will print, assemble, and mail customer bills and any additional notices or inserts as directed by the district superintendent or trustees or water and sewer customers, once per quarter or monthly for commercial customers. So if they want extra stuffing in there, let's look at extra fee, 'cause it takes time. And I say, never mind people's water and sewer bill in the same envelope. They all get separate envelopes,
Just stuff them.
so that we're not correlating stuff for them. If it's not gonna come out, you can match them 1 for 1 in the pile, then each one gets postage, each one gets the envelope, and it gets stuffed. And that way, it saves staff time.
It
trying to
does.
Figure that out.
It does, because it takes time, even
Right.
though you wouldn't think it'd take that much time, it does when you're printing that many bills.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just know from sucking tax bills, and
Yeah,
well, as
you'd
you're
love
looking,
to do
and-
that.
but just trying to
Yeah.
to put more than one in an envelope because you know that they're going to the same address,
Should be that way.
but
Be
just
separate.
but if it's not, if they don't come out all together, or water and sewer, and you have 2 separate piles and you're trying to match them up, that doesn't make good sense to me to try to do that unless you're trying to save money. And
Right.
Can we look at outsourcing that as well? Like send these on the file and somebody stuffs and mails and postage and.
I'm sure they could if they wanted to pay for it. Yeah.
We don't have to look.
But we're doing it anyway, and then, charging, not charging, we don't really know for postage, but
I hadn't thought in my head, and imagine you said that. It'll come back.
Do you know about how long it takes them to stuff the envelopes?
It's about a whole day by the time we print, correlate, and stuff.
Really?
Yep.
One
Well, because
person?
you used to think they can't just sit and do it.
No, I understand.
Yeah, they're
No,
answering the
I'm
phone, they're at the counter, yeah, you're a day at least, and that's at least 2 people working on it as they can to get back to it, yeah. Yep. I don't think people realize how busy it is in that office until you spend some time in that office and understand all the pieces that go in it.
fine. We're having a water sewer workshop.
Oh,
No, you're
We
fine.
have a town meeting in a little bit.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I'm here because I heard a rumor that they're planning on building some big apartment, building outfit.
That's at 6:30,
6:30.
Yeah.
30.
but you're welcome to stay.
That's fine. I don't like
20
moving
minutes.
around too much.
Another chair. I think
Pizza.
I need
It's
a-
cooler in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
so I
So,
guess my thought is, at the moment, is give it all back to them, let them figure it out.
Including the payments?
Unless, we can come up with $50,000 to pay for a full-time employee.
You don't need a full-time.
Just think about the extra things that we could get done.
Oh, yeah, we
Have
definitely
somebody else pay
could.
for it.
Oh, absolutely. And I had even thought that if we can get to a point with the budget that we can hire somebody to clean
Yes.
part-time, then you can have a part-time person cleaning, the same person working in the office doing this, and then you've created a full-time position. But a lot of things are contingent on budget, so.
Meaning for what?
The building here.
Oh, the building here?
Yeah. Why, you want a job?
Nope.
Nope.
I think
You know, though, I do have a problem. I've got, where I live at, okay, they sand a lot in the wintertime.
Yep.
And come winter to spring, all that sand falls into my property and just drives right down and kills my lawn.
Oh, no. What
Yeah.
road are you on?
Next door neighbor across the street, they're, Emily, I don't know, she's not a doobie, she's a Cabral. Anyways, she hired somebody, spent $500 to clean her side, and her side does that, yeah, most of it falls right on my property and stuff, you know, and that's too freaking old to sweep that. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody can help me out with that.
Where do you live?
165 Littlefield Road, Sabattus.
I'll talk to the road commissioner tomorrow. Or
Yeah.
the, I call it.
That's,
Ash.
oh, is that road commissioner over here?
No, she is.
I'll talk to the lead man.
So I think that there's kind of, could be three options. I think it should be self-contained or it should take care of itself. So whatever that number, with all of these kind of things with it, whatever that number would look like, I'm fine with it going back and they can figure it out. But I think it's also a good service for residents to have it centralized and things, but I don't know, I could also kind of go down the road of like, subleasing and they could come in twice a week or something and make those payments, or I know other town offices even restrict their hours that they are only open certain times or things like that too, but not that we want to go that route at all, but
Right.
I think for me, there are kind of three options of negotiation to be able, but I do think if we were to keep these items, I do think that it needs to, substantially go up to cover that. So.
Yeah, because it's generating overtime. Right.
But I'm like, again, keep it, like on billing days, when the billing's going out, hire that part-timer to come in and work.
Yeah.
That's all they do all day long, is take care of those bills and get it done. And the other staff do what they
Normally do,
versus.
Yeah, and that's a possibility as well, yeah.
And then essentially you're subleasing things. Right?
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
So I guess at this point, we just you want the data, so that's gonna take a while to get before we could meet again with accurate data for a whole quarter. So I guess we come together again after that quarter with the data and look at putting together a couple of options of what we think, and then we meet with Paul and his board, and
Well, you meet with Paul, and see what he's willing to do.
okay.
We're not gonna get anything, George, if you don't have to.
What are you gonna ante up?
Well, you can at least tell them what we're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just say,
and it's like, sure.
right.
Okay.
All right, do you have anything on that? Yeah, no. Right.
Nope.
No, do you have anything else?
The only thing I would also mention to him is the 2-year. I don't know if that's
Yeah, I
the
have
head
it
on your
written down.
paperwork. We're not interested in 5. Do we know how long this person's staying on, so he's not caught in a bind, we're not caught in a bind?
I don't, like I said, that's just the feel I got.
Oh, I just hate to see anyone in a bind.
Yeah, I don't believe that's gonna happen, but I
Okay.
think they're just trying to prepare.
Okay.
All right, do I need a motion to close the workshop and
I'll make a motion to close the workshop.
I'll second.
any other discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? All right, so we'll take a recess until 6:30 when the select board sits.
I am early, ain't I?
You are a bit early. I brought pizza if you'd like any.
Raquel, can I go out that back door?
I think so, what did you?
I'm just asking because
Just gotta let you back in, that's all.
okay, I just gotta I'm gonna take him out for a minute, and then I'm gonna make a phone call, and so while we're at a recess. A few people calling. Everybody gonna go out for a minute? Do a pretty couple. Let's get it going.
Oh, right up in the chair.
Are you gonna stay?
I love that face.
Jerry.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Jerry, bring that clipboard to this young gentleman
That's
to
all he's got
sign.
going for him. He doesn't listen.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah, Jerry. Bring the clipboard over here so I can sign it.
It's not a.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry.
I saw you mowing today and you were all smiling and
Jerry's always happy.
you look so peaceful out
Yeah, I
there.
got 3 acres done, I got
He's
another
still
2 to
looking.
do.
And I
Aw.
saw you like, I was like, hanging onto the cliff.
Gary.
I got Jason,
Wanna make a phone?
seeing if he can buy some weights in front of it,
You don't have to.
because I'm using the.
He's not thinking so.
Because it's easier on the machine.
He doesn't have to. I just
No, push out's heavy, so you gotta be
Well,
careful.
maybe he's watching you.
I do a wheelie once in a while. You can get-
I didn't see that.
New select board member looking pretty cute over there. I bet they'd rather you than me up there.
Going from,
Jerry, just got more off.
Until you trucking, that's not my priority. You just have to push off I talked to Bob this morning. He says, until Jason is done fixing the dump trucks, it's gonna have to sit.
Now that tune's changed. All right, I'll talk to him tomorrow.
And last month, we did over $7,000 in trucking fees. We just paid another over $6,000.
Good, your budget's tanked.
I know.
Yep.
Just,
Okay.
we were so busy this weekend, we had to use my 2 backup cans because I had 5 demos full. Just the trucking for this week alone is $1,700. It's gonna get worse because,
I'll deal with that in the morning.
yeah, just.
Yep.
I'm not begging.
Well, no,
Fuel costs,
Huh?
fuel costs too, added to it. Are they charging a
Yeah,
surcharge?
surcharge. It was almost $600 surcharge.
You're very content.
This last one, yeah, there's, yeah. I mean, I've done what I can. I mean, it's-
I'll talk to him, wish I'd known that this morning. That's okay.
I was in, at a meeting or something.
Corey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
I will deal with it in the morning, Jerry, thank you.
Yay.
Yay. George started my morning off this morning, so we'll start it off with that tomorrow.
You gotta continue that, you know.
Yeah.
No, I usually sit way out back.
Gary,
He's not a resident, he sits in the back row.
somebody make ruts there, getting into the field, or?
Somebody did that Friday afternoon. I don't know what it was, man.
I'm like, what happened there?
Way off the road.
Yeah.
You know, our boys thought it's gonna be there. Some building, what's that be?
Uh,
They got out.
I see somebody got a deer in my house in the last week too.
Deer?
Yep. Right on top of the hill, on the top of the wall.
One less to make sure.
Yeah. But Public Works can also take care of it.
Did you share the meat?
It's looking like Monday.
What's that?
Did you share the meat with it?
No.
No.
some turkeys, we got them.
Yeah, it was funny last night. You texted me. I was at a meeting in Peru.
Yeah, I'm
With
sorry.
TJ. No, you were fine, but TJ called first.
We're all trying to see who was gonna answer first.
Yeah,
I said, "Don't
TJ called first, and then I saw that, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna need. But then you popped up as a text just as Mark was calling. I'm like, uh-oh. So out I walk. I was like, all three of them.
It's my call.
I'm like,
Well, when I saw all three names, I'm like, oh.
something's going on.
Yeah, and I forgot about the meeting, so I'm like, something blow up, what's going on?
Back in February.
It does say, town owns parks and athletics in it already. And so I think some of the, there's a couple of points on the front, I wanted to do, accountability and property use policy. And then there's just a couple of subsections around, I thought even athletic fields and then maybe for some restrooms like parking fields. Maybe other areas, but. And then, they're trying to, make these more applicable. So I just want to make sure like, they're doing modifications, if anyone is, like, it's a very, like, I don't care what's happening with it. But it says in here too, like,
Hi, Garrett.
parking signs, like, do we need signs of parking? And somebody, you know, I know that the recreation kind has put gravel and things like that, and like, for years, so like, town's supposed to really do that. And then same with the request is very specific to the here. This position of space, and other.
He's one to talk.
Look at it.
You get a new board member?
Yeah.
It's in the policy as well, but like the highlight of the.
So does this also?
You tell him to stop being grumpy, and you were grumpy first thing this morning.
That was my question.
I was.
I
I usually do. I get emails like that, and I'm thinking, why is he screaming at me? Yep.
So with that, should you call those out specifically?
Quit yelling.
When they start, other places do very much.
But if you start calling them out, then you, when you add more, it becomes a problem.
But it might be helpful to then update your.
You know what we're doing.
Because it could say, you know, it definitely should say, like, after the fields, in front of the superfoods, et cetera. And it could say, you know, it could say parts of like, or you could keep it directly. Those are just my kind of additions to, and then saying like they have a town facility with properties. And then Waterville has the same thing too. They even put it in there, gazebos, community rooms, parks, but I don't know that. You can do it, but.
Yeah.
So when you're the fire department's phone will be blowing up, the police department will blow up, the health department, like in North Fair.
Is that what it was?
No. Things getting broken. That they would figure out, and they could trace it all back to when he was around. And then when they got rid of this one stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So. But yeah, I put that out, so in case you guys heard something, because it was blowing up around here. That's what I wanted.
Yes. My neighbor told me.
Here, John,
3,500.
I didn't forget about you. That's the letter you needed.
Okay, I'm having a dumb question. Why is this addressed to John?
Because he's gonna post everything. Yep. Once he went through me emailing him to ask him and saying, well, what the heck?
I expected it.
Because it's either a constable or a citizen. And it used to be missing in the police department. But we don't have a citizen over there anymore that used to go up to that. And John would run around and do it. He was more than happy to do it, so. Once he knew what his task was.
Who's
Who's doing that?
Mr. Neely. They
You know,
probably
I
in the
can't believe
office,
that's
I would imagine. Why, do we have to do something special?
Nope.
Okay. I
Nope.
was gonna say,
You have an
'cause
issue.
if they flick the
They
switch.
do get an water feed. Public Works.
You can use your stand.
For the public works.
We had a filming thing today,
First one.
Belgium.
Show that.
Oh, yes.
Because it's gonna have the loss.
But I don't know if it was
Yeah.
sheets.
They'll have a couple on the shelf that way. It'll be there.
Yep. The wall and they made little pieces from it. And so she had the thing and stab it all and make it into a thing. And then we even have like little toppings that are tiny.
Job on that one.
Oh.
Trying to figure out which one you was.
Oh, well, you should have just went out and introduced yourself. Yes, sir.
Built a lot, and it's still in the pile.
Yes, because we paid it. She's gonna get reimbursed, yes.
Relax, George, relax.
No, I can't.
I can't.
That's $46.50.
Oh my God, George. I'll give you a 50.
Is that all that it takes to get him to hush?
That's just today.
Yeah. Kind of know that.
First email saying I said I got 50.
Yeah, I should have. Yes, right. $50.
And there's like
Yep, but it's gonna cool back off. 50 something on Monday with the rain.
we went camping last year and we sat in a tent. and it
Oh,
was, like,
geez.
snow.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
That
the
was
kids were
silly.
in kayaks, and it was so much fun because they didn't have great cell phone reception and things, so they like, and we were like chopping wood at like 7 o'clock, and like the other people we went with were up late.
Girl, they had like
And I was like,
I
I haven't seen them yet because you're over there hogging them.
Oh,
I can't sign something I haven't looked at yet, George. I saw you over there. See, I would have found that over on the bill. But he wouldn't let me look for
I'm getting away with it. Very close to that. The other pile.
We're like kayaking, and it just kept pushing back. So the kids, like, there's like an island off to the right, and the kids up there, and the floor. No, it's
Yeah. Memorial Day weekend's always a crapshoot. But I did plant my garden last weekend. I looked ahead at the temperatures and said, oh, I think we're okay. I don't see any frost coming. Yeah. There was. I still think it's cheaper just to go buy everything at the store. By the time we bought, because we went to Longfellow's and bought the vegetable plants. I know, but I love that place.
I just did $400, because we got the cemetery thing for his dad and my dad. And I looked and they charged me for
He just sent a chair flying.
What do you do? Shouldn't just sneak
Yeah, we spent like $200 on plants. I looked at my husband, I said, boy, oh boy, I don't know if we're gonna get $200 worth of vegetables on this guy, but he enjoys it. Oh, we tried that too, yeah.
Making self
Yep.
I cannot, like, I can't, some of that stuff, I can't even bring the house and use it. I can't even,
Well,
yeah.
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 No, I put mine in.
Oh, you put your.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I had a green thumb. My husband's on road. I cannot. The lady that bought our camper, she died, and I wanted to keep her plants, because I knew her too, so they were sentimental to me. So I put them in the front row. Well, I grew up on closing rooms off, because it's how you save heat. So I closed a lot of rooms off. You get up there, 8 weeks later, and I'm oh no. She's like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, how I kill me. So I sent the picture to Mom's here. Mom, you need to bring these alive. She's like, you can't do this. I tried to save them. I was so sad. Yeah.
It spread like half the length of this room. It was like 25 years old. They were going to Florida.
Read it on
They
the-
were going to Florida.
No, you didn't.
I tried so hard. I don't know if they got it. Or it just went. It's a real
Yep. My dad, he's able to keep alive. I actually didn't even buy him for my mom this year. I've been down this road on some sticks. I put them in a vase.
Through. The petitions that we have to try to see.
She actually seemed to like it. I buy her the hanging plants. My dad keeps my living room until up Christmas.
If you read the charter, I don't think I have to find it. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
You did?
But
But he's talking.
now you don't have to say.
Right.
I'm sure. Early mornings and late nights. Oh, yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna call the meeting, everyone can stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome, so we'll do a quick roll call, Laura, here, Noel,
Present.
George,
Present.
Nancy, here, Rick.
Here.
Thank you, is there any agenda adjustments?
Yes. I am requesting an agenda adjustment under new business I'm calling it a request discussion.
What do you call it?
I'm calling it a request discussion.
Any other agenda adjustments? Then, election for vice chair, do I have a nomination?
I make a motion to nominate George Merrill for vice chair.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed?
Bad, George.
So happens for voting me down.
All right, so ceremonial presentations and staff recognitions. None?
Could we just,
We'll do that at the beginning of the month.
Clifford Michigan,
He's retiring.
Yes,
Yes.
can we do that under recognition?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jerry, where's Jerry?
What we normally do with them.
No, I'm saying.
Okay.
All right,
Do you want to do it in your?
yep, I can.
Thank you. Public hearings, informational meetings. None, staff, new hires, resignations, we've got done. Reports,
Nothing this time.
unfinished business, tax liens,
Nothing new on that right now.
roll-off truck,
Really nothing new on that either.
fire department grant,
I met with Auburn, is it contractors? Construction. What
Great
is?
Falls.
Yes, thank you. Great Falls, Auburn, it all connects in my head. So they are putting together a plan to, they know what the money we're working with the grant, and they're putting together a proposal of what we can do with that. And then they'll present it. And they're also,
been able to get into the website yet?
oh yes, I'm in.
Yeah, there you go, a little persistence.
I'm in. I don't necessarily have everything filled out. I've got about 1 million pages to read through, but I'm in and I'm going page by page.
Just a question on that, whether or not we should put an RFP out for that project so that other people have
As far as running the project or the pieces of putting it together?
the whole thing. Whatever Great Falls is gonna do, we should put an RFP out so somebody else can weigh in.
For the work?
Yes,
Yeah, well, they would be in charge of bidding all that stuff out if they're running the whole project. And that was something that was voted on. I wish I had that paper down here. You guys, the board voted on that,
Use Great Falls to do the
right?
quote to
Correct.
restart.
Yeah, that was voted on.
yes, I'm just wondering if you should, you're gonna allow them to do all the bidding process.
It depends on what they come back with. They're gonna give us a proposal.
Okay,
Yeah, and we'll see what the proposal says. Yeah.
Any other discussion on the fire grant? Do we know when they're expecting to get that?
The proposal, they're working on it, so.
Can we get a copy of everything that came out as suggested items? What did we initially want to do with that committee? Had kind of made a list.
I
Can we
think
get a copy of
I
that?
think I have it upstairs, yeah.
Okay, I just like to review it so
Sure.
I'm prepared.
Were we reestablishing a committee?
I don't think so.
I don't know, we haven't voted on that though.
I'll tell you what the main proposal is to tear down the bays and that whole area and put up a metal structure. And then just sprinkle the living quarters, that's that section. That's the proposal, and they think they can do that for under the 2 million and then you're saving on fixing this piece and then not being able to fix that piece.
It's a brick building though, right?
That was the talk. I'm waiting to see what they come back with for a cost of whether it's feasible or not.
And they got that guidance and direction though from when Troy was fire chief?
No.
No.
Nope, that
Okay.
came from, I had the current interim chief was with me at this meeting.
Okay.
And this was a talk that had been amongst
Great Falls.
the Great Falls and the staff, because there is considerable amount of work, from my understanding, that would need to be done. And it makes more sense just to, we'll see,
So,
we'll see.
right, and I just want to be able to speak to that
Mhm.
because I am certain that people are gonna come at us saying, we didn't want a new fire station and you're essentially building a new fire station. So I just want to be able to speak to it and say, okay, here's what it was gonna cost if we did this.
Right.
Here's what it's gonna cost if we do this, and it made more fiscal sense to do this with the money.
I could ask them to price it out both ways.
and there was an engineer expected that building prior to, and there
Yes.
was a report from the engineer on the deficits.
Correct. I believe I have that upstairs in that binder. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll copy whatever I have for you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Rick, are you all set on the fire?
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, And then, next is the, FOIA policy second reading, so that's in your packet.
I'll make a motion, we adopt the FOIA policy as written.
I second it. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And opposed? So that passed. Cost recovery discussion.
That is, I just want a direction from whether we want to do it, whether we don't, whether we want more information, what that information is. Because we had the presentation last time, so I don't want it to just die. We either move on it or we don't. But I think we need to have a discussion about that.
I would like more information. I didn't find it very informative. I'd like to see what the numbers might be on our part. If fire chief should be able to supply how many vehicle accidents, how much time, and what the recovery might look like in funds. I mean, I'd certainly like to move forward with doing it, but I'd like to see the numbers.
Okay.
I actually found out some additional information after that meeting from other avenues that are using it. And one of the things I was not aware of is that it's already in a lot of people when they pay their insurance premiums, it's already like a benefit built in. And so if somebody's not billing for it, it's not getting paid out, and the insurances are just kind of keeping it
Correct.
as well. So I wasn't aware of that either, but I do agree with George. I didn't find there's a lot of information provided that was significant and helpful.
Okay.
If you could take our numbers and provide, this is based on the last 3 years, how much money we derive from that.
Okay.
Or how much we've lost.
That
Yeah, flip side, yeah. Okay.
So the one piece about it that I am kind of questioning or would like to understand better is when you come back from any type of accident, you've got paperwork to do. What would we actually be asking if we asked our staff to be doing that? It seems like it's a form that you set up. And once we've got the form and the template built out, is it really that much more work for our staff to be doing it and we keep all of that money rather than farming that information out to a different board or a different group and they're keeping a big chunk of that?
And I did ask that question for you.
Okay,
You did.
I didn't. see that.
Yeah. And again, there wasn't really a great answer to that other than time management.
I know sometimes like groups will outsource stuff to like get the process and they kind of learn from that and then they bring it back versus just building it from nothing too. So maybe
Right.
that's a consideration.
Yep.
But, yeah. Good question.
Yep.
Anything else on the cost recovery discussion? So are we, I mean, is the majority of the board feeling like it's something that we want to pursue further and get additional information? Or are we feeling like it's not an option?
We need more information.
More information?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's fine.
I just want to make sure that we were like,
No,
not.
that's what I wanted, but we needed to move forward either way.
Okay, thank you. New business, Garrett Ashton Eagle Scout Project. Garrett joins us again. Hi.
Hi, I'm Garrett Ashton. I live in Sabattus. I'm a freshman at Oak Hill, and I'm part of Troop 110. And I'm going to be submitting my Eagle project soon to Pine Tree Council. And last summer I've been working with Jim Rancourt in Eaton Cemetery and Golden Cemetery, helping clean up the stones. I started a account on Find the Grave to update pictures and stuff to get cemeteries updated. My plans is to have professionals remove 9 trees to make it safe and prevent future damages. Clean all 51 stones, photograph and upload all the cemetery clean stones. There's 7 veterans in the cemetery. We will I helped the Sabattus Historical Society reset the lean stones and repair broken stones, do general cleanup. My team include family, community members, and friends. I will ask for donations from companies for supplies and kind of service as much as possible. And fundraising the rest of with a bottle drive setup. My plans will start soon. Close my project to Pine Tree Council, hoping to finish late October. Plus, some photos to look at this weekend.
Awesome.
That's great.
Does anyone have any questions for Garrett?
I'll just make a motion that since it's a cemetery or neglected cemetery, we allow him to do the work there.
Yep.
So
I appreciate it.
I'll second you. And Garrett, I talked to my fiance, and we are gonna take all of our bottles and donate them to you.
Thank you.
So if you would like to coordinate with me with our number, and we can figure out a place for you to pick them up.
Yeah.
So you can have them for you.
Yeah, he just has to wait until the project is approved.
Yeah.
Those proposals approved before he can set that up.
Yeah, well, we have a bunch of bottles that we're gonna bring back, and I talked to him, and we're just gonna donate them, so whenever he's ready.
I
The
just wanted
pictures
to,
he sent came through, okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
I just wanted to thank you, Garrett. I know that you've been doing quite a bit of work over the last year in a few cemeteries, I think. So we look forward to that project for sure.
And thank you to Jim too for helping him.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving? Awesome, good luck. Next is discussion regarding a new lawyer. Township.
Noel had asked for this to be on here.
Yes, we've had numerous meetings with our attorney, and I have not felt very informed when he comes to the meetings. There's a lot of, yeah, okay, just, I was sat in on some planning board meetings. He has a really hard time answering questions, and I feel like we're paying a lot of money for someone who can't give us answers, especially when we ask them to be in meetings with us. And so I would like to, I know that we've had this town lawyer for a long time. It's kind of like insurance, change things up, and you get a better outcome some days, sometimes. So that was my big thing that I've been asking for a little while now. And after the last, I'd say 3 times I've seen our lawyer.
So we actually have, because I've been looking at different policies and stuff, we have 2 different lawyers at firms that we've worked with.
One is strictly for a police issue.
Okay.
Yeah, the other, he's not toward the other
Is
stuff.
that was like Skelton Keener Abbott?
Oh, no, no,
I thought I saw them referenced in something.
maybe before, previously.
And I just know there's gonna be a lot of work going into it. You know, we have to find someone that can do it.
Does MMA provide a list of municipal
I can check.
experienced lawyers?
Maybe. They might not, though, because they might not want to feel like they're endorsing anybody, but I can ask.
Was there kind of attorney that you would suggest?
There is not, because I know we had to have this conversation first, and there's a lot of attorneys that won't take you for conflict of interest and things like that, and we have to deal with this special one that deals with municipalities.
Right.
So I did have one, but I'm willing to put the legwork in. If you need help, I'm willing to do that.
I'll reach out to MMA and see if they have a list, because that's a good idea.
Yeah.
They might have a list of people. So I'll go that route first.
And does the town managers have a listserv where you could ask other towns who they use? And you put a list together that way?
I could ask,
Or
yeah,
just-
I can ask. I know there's not a ton. I don't think there's a lot of money in municipal law. And switching, I'm not opposed to that at all. But we do have at least one pretty big case that we would have to leave where it is. We wouldn't be able to switch it midstream. So we move everything else and leave that one behind for the time being.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm willing to help you. Just let me know when and where.
Rick?
Nope.
Okay. Next is approve supplemental tax bill for Gary. Oh, I thought maybe I'm good. Sign the town meeting warrant.
That's.
So in your packets is a copy of the warrant, as well as it was emailed.
Yep.
George?
I'll just make a motion that we approve and sign the town meeting warrant for the town meeting on June 4th at 6 P.M. at the Sabattus Middle School on Ballpark Road.
Oak Hill Middle School.
It's not, it's on the warrant.
Oh, no. The worst side.
Sabattus Middle School.
It should say Oakland. Mhm.
Make the motion with it correct. Because we've got to sign it tonight.
Is it on the computer? Can Colleen just go
We don't
grab
have,
it? No.
no.
If it's in TJ stuff, I think you can get stuff.
That's fine.
It should be a shared folder then.
Yeah, you can, here, take mine.
Let me just double check for other.
This should say.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Oak Hill High School, correct?
Oak Hill Middle
Oak Hill
School.
Middle School.
Okay. So it should say Oak Hill Middle School, and is that the correct address?
Mhm.
So it's just Oak Hill, yeah. So you should be able to see that in the S drive under treasurer, but who knows if it's logged?
I think Holly's still up there.
Okay, I'll take the notes.
Thank you.
We'll come back to that.
Did you want him to make the right motion and then we'll second it?
Yeah, make the correct motion, second it, and if we can't fix it tonight, we'll have, you can sign the actual ballot, so we can get that posted at least. And then you guys, if you've motioned it, you can come in and sign later. Yeah.
Again.
George, why didn't you notice that?
Yeah, I know.
I sent it to you.
So can approve the warrant with the town meeting on June 4th at 6 P.M. at Oak Hill Middle School, 40 Ballpark Road.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Passed. Hi, see, there was a reason in my head I was given over. Approved supplemental tax bill for Gary LeBon.
Yep.
Map lot 001-030-000 in the amount of $231.80.
So this is another one like the other ones we had. He's taking some land out of farmland. So that's his penalty. He owes us $231.80. So this is a supplemental bill.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the supplemental tax bill for Gary Labonte, map in lot 001-030-000 in the amount of $231.80.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? No pass. Next is field use policy. So I am looking at just opportunity to update our current facility use policy, which is in your packet. The last time it was updated was 2011. In this, it actually states that under page 2 of 5, under intent, that it's to provide a means for securing scheduled use of approved public facilities and spaces and a clear set of rules for their use. The policy is written to cover the use of the community room at the town office building, town-owned parks and athletic fields, and any additional town-owned facilities yet to be constructed or requested for use. And so I was just kind of curious if maybe we should put some of those town-owned properties there. So under intent, either under intent or purpose, adding, the gazebo or Bucky's Field or Martin's Point, or just leave them, like, not exclude, like, only inclusive of, but also keeping them under town-owned parks and athletic fields and maybe putting something there, but. And then also under page 4 with any kind of signs for parking, if that's like at Martin's Point and at Bucky's Field. I know when we did the farmer's market up here, we had a handicap sign put in as well, so. And then making sure to highlight like a carry in, carry out, building maintenance, gravel mowing, etc. So those were kind of my thoughts around modifications, and also just maybe putting in there like a 48-hour request for a week request or things like that. But I don't know either like how popular this space has gotten and if that's done.
Not very right now.
Yeah.
I think you'll see it pick up a little bit when it cools off again.
Mhm.
Because I think the groups utilizing it, their numbers are probably down now with the nicer weather. But I think that once it cools off in wintertime, I think they'll be busy.
Is there a calendar currently?
I have one, yeah.
And is that something that's available on the website that somebody can look at to know what dates are available?
Not unless we pay extra money for the module to do it. We contemplated it, but it's not something really busy yet. So we didn't feel that that was something that we wanted to pay for. But if it's something that, if it really picks up and gets really busy, then yeah, we could put a calendar on there and people could just book right online. Yep.
So I have a thought about this. If we're gonna include all of the facilities, including fields, like rec fields such as Bucky's, I'm not okay with the priorities and scheduling. Bucky's Field has been specifically designated in the past for Sabattus Rec Club. And if you look at the priority here, it would even come after RSU activities. So I feel like there's some work to do to kind of specifically call out it was donated for Sabattus Rec and for the town, but for Sabattus Rec. So I think we need to kind of separate those things out so that it's going to the groups first that it should be going to.
So you're saying just switch D and C?
It's more than that though, because this says priorities and scheduling. So if there was a governmental function or a government organization that wanted to use it over Sabattus Rec Club, per our policy here, they would have the right to. So I think that field needs to be called out in a special section because it was specifically donated for the rec club.
Mhm.
And currently, the way that we have this written, it says the town manager or designee. So I think when it comes to that particular field, it needs to be a designee, and the designee is the Sabattus Rec Club manages the use of that field.
And we looked at the deed before, right? And it's not specific. I mean, intention of recreation activities, right? And so now there's a Sabattus Rec Club. So I think that's like a different.
I'm looking at the person who will know more about it than anybody else here. Wasn't it supposed to be specifically for the use of Sabattus Rec Club?
Yeah. The other one, it was the Little League, it was the softball, and whatever was using it.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's taking that away, right?
No, but
You could
you can,
schedule
right,
conflict.
you could schedule conflict, or somebody could come and say, I'm I don't know, I'm the Androscoggin County government, blah, 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 and I have priority on that field over Sabattus Rec Club per your policy. We need to be able to write the policy in a way that we're gonna enforce it.
And so what's your,
My suggestion is we have another subsection of this policy that talks specifically about, maybe it's land donated for a specific use, or a facility / property donated for a specific use, and how that needs to follow the original intent of that donation. Maybe that makes it generic enough.
so are you suggesting like a specific subsection under priority?
I'm actually thinking it's probably a section, so maybe it's another section, section 4.1 or something like that, 4.A, and it talks about donation. Bucky's Field specifically, or it could be more generic and say donated properties will follow something to the effect of the original use intended, and those would not be subject to the priorities and scheduling.
So, because there's a 4.1, 2, and 3, right? And so maybe creating a section, a whole nother section? Because are we even following this policy now? No. Right, yeah.
No, so the whole thing should be updated.
Yeah. So are you asking more to create a section of itself of?
I'm specifically calling out that the priorities in scheduling don't meet what the intent of Bucky's Field was. And I don't want to sign a policy that has the wrong intent and the wrong prioritization that will put the rec club at risk of not being able to use the field when they need it.
Okay, so could we just give Bucky's like its own letter or number and just say Bucky's is just for rec and sports? And if someone else wants to use it with it interfering with rec sports, that is the only way it's gonna be available? I mean, make it sound a little bit more professional, but.
I think like some of the language within like procedures and regulations is up to the town manager, so you wouldn't necessarily and like same, it comes to the select board, there's a point where if it's not a nonprofit or it's not something else, but I mean, can you also, because like Martin's Point kind of came up as well, so should that have its own section within the facility use versus like this? Because you don't want to make things too complicated either, because it's then restricting abilities, right? And so, but. So would you propose also, like, can you do anything with Martin's Point with a facility use?
I think the person who has his hands up, I would ask him about that one.
Yeah.
John?
With Martin's Point, you're gonna have to talk to the state because you took state funds to build the boat launch. And I don't know if you can just let somebody close off Martin's Point to have their big company picnic there or something. So you're gonna have to do something with that too. But as far as Bucky's, the softball program makes out their schedule for 2 or 3 months in advance. And if you just let somebody go in there on the day that there's supposed to be a tournament or a game or whatever scheduled, then somebody's gonna have a conflict like we did with the Charter Commission 2 weeks ago when we came here and there were scouts down here because they had taken over.
Yeah, and so I think, does Bucky's Field get used for anything but softball?
Not that I know of.
Used to get used for soccer, they not use.
If they set it up for the little kids, it's usable for soccer. Now that it's gonna be maintained in the fall.
And so, like, according to this policy, it's an athletic field, but there should be a form completed, and we haven't ever done it, right? And so, but then it should be on the calendar so that there's nothing conflicting with it, and
And that's why I say it's, with all the stuff going on at that field, I think in the spring and in the fall, it would be too much for Raquel to have to deal with. But we would be redirecting her energy to something that is already working, right? So let's have the designee in that instance be the Sabattus Rec Club.
because then you're limiting, right? So,
Well, they know what they've got scheduled, so
Right.
they can easily say yay
Update
or
the calendar.
nay on other potential uses for that field.
We can't even get a hold of the right person. That's the downfall to that, is that it's hard.
So my other question is like, me, so I don't have anyone in softball or soccer, but we'd like to play field hockey. Why do I, as a taxpayer, not be able to access the field if nobody's using it? Like, I
I
understand.
didn't
if
say
it's
you
scheduled.
couldn't, I said you just have to talk to the rec club, and since you're part of the rec club,
I'm not,
field hockey is not,
I'm not, no.
you're at the bottom of the list based
I
on.
know. As a taxpayer too, you know what I mean? Like contributing to all of the things, like I'm just trying to make sure that the town is also, because Bucky's Field, the town has neglected for a long time. And so as we navigate making sure like, you know, the driveway, the parking, the trees, the maintenance, like all of those things, making sure that the property is taken care of, it's a town-owned property, that it's able to be used for recreation activities, that everybody in the town is able to use it. Like if we wanted to do a fundraiser for a kickball tournament, we should be able to use a town-owned property too. And I understand that there's scheduling and there's things, but I think that that's the intention, right? Is a recreation activity for the people in Sabattus to be able to use, to get outside, to, you know, do all of the things. And I think limiting it, I think that, you know, it's great. It could be used for softball and soccer. I think that other people should be able to use it as well, that are contributing equally to the maintenance and.
So I'm not saying they can't, I'm saying the designee, the person who approves the forms and says, yes, the field is available, is the Sabattus Rec Club, rather than having it be Raquel.
I got a better idea. What about taking the head of the rec department person, having them get their schedule, because someone just said their schedules are made within 2 to 3 months in advance. Have them bring the schedule into Raquel or email it to her. She can post it up on our page, and that's when that field is being used. And any other time, field hockey can use it.
Or anybody can put in a field request. That's what our current policy says, is that to use a town-owned parks and athletic field, you are able to submit a facility request, which then gets put in a calendar. That's what it says.
So they can submit their calendar to Raquel. Raquel doesn't have to do much, and we can take the weight off Raquel in that aspect, put it on the rec department. And Raquel, you could maybe, if it's not too much, oversee that and just say, well, it's what we need because of our policy. And field hockey wants to use it, someone wants to have a baseball birthday party there. We need to know when it's available. And if they're not holding up their end of the bargain up, then.
Yeah.
And then the other people can submit like a 3 months roster time schedule to you. And then, because I know I've tried to get a hold of the rec department, the head of the person, and it is challenging. So I think that would be really hard to leave it up to that person, because then they can just not answer the phone.
So the whole in that process.
Yep.
Is you have a soccer game scheduled for tomorrow and it rains. And then you have to reschedule, you have to have a rain date.
Mm-hmm.
That then drags Raquel, not to say that somebody else couldn't have booked it for those dates, you have to look at different dates, that's fine.
That's when they have to submit a paper.
But,
It's okay, Nancy. I know you're trying to save me, but it's okay.
No, and I understand, but maybe they need to see what isn't taken on that calendar, they need to do their rain date around that instead of having the upper hand the whole time.
But it does seem like if we're gonna do all these calendars and everything, it might be worthwhile to invest the extra money in that website and put
Do
it
you know how much it
online.
is?
I don't off the top of my head. I don't think it was huge, but it was enough that we said, we're not gonna use it, we're not gonna pay for it right
Yeah.
now, but.
And so then the other thing I did have a problem with, Laura, is you were right, this on 3C and D. So the priorities for scheduling are town government functions, government organizations, RSU-sponsored activities, then Sabattus Rec Club, then civic organizations. And I believe that D and C need to be flip-flopped. And maybe even C needs to move down to E. Because RSU does not, they have fields and they don't share well. And so we need to service the rec club and civic organizations within our town to ensure that they have a place to do things as well.
That was definitely Bucky's intent, was for Sabattus.
Laura, you got hands there.
Does anyone else have any comments or questions up here?
I have one other comment.
Yeah.
Sorry. I have a social media policy, a contract negotiation policy, and a remote policy that I've been trying to get talked about. And this was the first I heard of this one. So where do I follow the priority list?
We'll put one on next one, Nancy.
Okay.
Well, you and I will pick which one you want on the next agenda.
John?
The RSU4 facilities request form includes a portion that says, do you have insurance? Does your group have insurance? Is this policy gonna ask these people if they have insurance, or are they gonna be covered by the town, or how's that gonna work?
I did see that was in a couple of the other, I've looked at probably 20 other policies across the state, and I did notice that was something that was in every other one of them as well. Was that they were required to have, and it even listed most of the time a certain number of insurance required. Anybody else? Yes.
I just wanted to say, I'm the director of the Sabattus Rec softball program, so we are using the Bucky's right now. And we're happy to share with folks, just right now, we're on the field 5-6 days a week because we're getting rained out every other day. So it's not that we're opposed to sharing the field with other folks. Right now, our season is about 6 weeks long by the time the snow melts. So we're on the field from the end of April until the beginning of June, maybe middle of June, depending on other opportunities.
And did you? Oh yes, can you say your name, please?
Yeah, it's Brittany Wood Milligan.
And were you aware that there was a facility use with athletic field from August of 2011?
No one's ever mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only been in the program for the last 2 years, but I've never had to fill anything out. I will say, since I was involved in rec at Sabattus Rec 20 years ago, my parents have been helping. They helped build the snack shack that's there. Now my kids are there. So the issue isn't that we're not willing to share. It's just our season is so short, and if you have a spring like we had with rain, we're literally having to reschedule meetings back to back to back. So it's just a short window. And like I said, I'm happy to talk to anybody, but I've never been contacted by anybody in the town. And I'm happy to share my email if some folks want to talk.
I would love it.
And so just to be clear, my position is not to take away access. There's a facility use policy. It's hopefully to improve even access. A lot of people in town don't even know that Bucky's Field is a town-owned property either. And so being able to get people outside, we don't have a walking path, we don't have a basketball, a pickleball, like we don't have a lot of outdoor activities. We do have Guston Camp, which I think is old Guston Camp in the campus garden. And so my hope is that even more people can enjoy something that our town has that they're paying taxes to maintain and do. And so just to be clear is that it's not to take away things, either. So, and, you know, to make sure that the town is maintaining the property as intended and, you know, making sure that it stays accessible and usable, so. John,
Just remember, the town only started maintaining Bucky's Field 2 or 3 years ago.
which is great, right? Like, that's a great
Yeah.
thing that we're doing. Yep, anything else?
I just wanted to kind of reiterate that, like, the parents of the softball team have been taking care of the field for the last 17 years. And we put a lot of money, and, you know, like, we recognize businesses that have, like, sponsored our teams. And last season, somebody came and slashed all of our banners. So, like, and that was money that we lost, like, trying to recognize the businesses that are helping us keep that field up. So just something to keep in mind. Again, it's not that we want to block others, but like, we just had the Mason Lodge redo our dugouts, and like, to have somebody come in and write on marker on all of the paint. So just something to keep in mind, like, have some type of security or some type of camera might be helpful if the town is willing to put that in, because it is an issue there with having some vandalism, and we do store some equipment in that shed, and it's locked up to the best of our abilities, but if somebody is really desperate enough to get in, they certainly could.
Do we have any police reports on vandalism at the field or notices or no?
No.
We have that, no. So are like, I would suggest that the rec review the current policy as well, and maybe if there's any changes that they would recommend to put in as well, that would be something helpful. And then I would assume if there's any, property damage to town-owned property, that, you know, our police department and town manager would be notified, immediately. So maybe something else that the board could look at with the policy too. So thank
I
you.
can check, because I do think that we filed a police report, but it would have come from Tiffany first. But like I said, she was in charge last year when it happened, so, but I can check, and if you guys want it, I can give it to you.
I think we could probably get it if it's something bad. Thank you. Anything else on, the field use policy? So my, suggestion was that we just update some language in that. So I'm happy to kind of redline some items and present it, or if you, have some thoughts that you'd like me to add to it or change it, I can do one complete document, so you can do a reading on it, would be great.
Just, do we have a list of town properties that would otherwise be usable other than here in Bucky's Field?
Yeah, because we have the mill, right, and like, we can't do.
There's nothing that we always put in.
It's what?
Polluted. Always polluted, the ground is unfit for anybody. DEP's all of it.
Right, yeah, that land's not usable.
It was a 25-year period, nothing was done there.
And then we have the school currently, and the gazebo, and yeah.
But I was just kind of looking for a list. I know we have other parcels of town property on Main Street by the river type thing, so it just not that, depends on what it's feasible for.
Are you thinking that they should be like, maybe even an addendum to the policy, that these are the current town-owned properties, or are you suggesting to list them in the policy?
The addendum would probably makes it easier, then we don't have to change the policy and forget to move the facility.
Because I seem like, from what I've looked at with other places, some have them listed on their applications, and then some have them listed within their policies, and some don't have them at all. And I think probably for those reasons that it's not, but I think 15 years is not updating policy. Nancy, anything? Rick?
Good.
Okay. So that's primary buildings. Megan, what you got?
Just stand over here so everybody can see
What's that?
Thank you again to the board for letting me speak tonight. I'm here, well, some of our other group members from the Sabattus Community Center project. We are the citizens initiative that grew out of the building committee that formed last September, October, to kind of come up proposals for what could happen to the Sabattus primary property as it goes up for vote again in a few weeks. So during our time as the building committee, we reached out to community members. We sent out a Google form survey that had 103 responses, and the majority of those were for keeping the building for use as a community center. 71 responses wanted a community center, 65 mentioned youth, 47 for recreation, 90 for seniors, 55 for social events, 52 for wellness, 9 for a safe space, 65 for the library, 60 for teens, and 54 for sports in general. Laura, you've asked in the last 2 of these meetings for direction from the town. There's direction there. There's direction. Our Facebook group, we have 287 followers in the few months that we've been active, and we've had a lot of good communication and conversations on that platform about what this project could be for that building. And there's people here tonight, there's people that are sending letters of support for us. So our hope, our ask is that no matter what the vote comes to in a few years, that the community center project in tandem with the rec club and that recreation piece be focused on as a priority, or if the town votes to keep it, let us run a community center, let us run activities and things there and take on that burden as a nonprofit, as the ones raising the money and finding the sourcing for it. If the town wants to sell it, let us be the buyers, let us be the priority for that space. I just highlighted some of the key benefits of the project. First and foremost, recreation and wellness. It would allow our recreation club to have a home. They currently don't have an administrative home, so documentation and all of that is not in a standardized place. They bounce around for different things. They are storing things in random places around town. It also gives a home to programs. Our cheerleaders were able to work in the space this winter. The field would be available for a lot of our youth sports. The gymnasium, once updated and upgraded, would be available for different sports, as well as just a place to go in and walk around when the weather's not good, things like that. There was talk about a fitness center, about having Zumba classes, self-defense classes, things like that. From the education standpoint and enrichment, things like that, there's classrooms in that building that could be turned into, we were already approached by a homeschool co-op that was looking for a home to base their classes out of. Tutoring, adult education, enrichment classes. It was brought up in public speak here a few weeks ago about like woodworking classes or like small hands-on classes or things like that. Clubs and activities. We host a toddler playgroup here in this room. We're hosting a seniors gathering here in this room, and that's great, but our space is limited, our time is limited. And we have the opportunity with this building, with this history, to keep it in town for community use. From an economic standpoint, the ability for, helping other businesses start up a small business incubator, rental spaces for things like that, as well as just a community gathering space, giving our families, our children, our adults, and everybody a place to go that feels like a second home, a place that feels like another place where they can go to connect with their neighbors. We don't have a playground that's accessible to all our children. There is a playground at the middle school, but my 2-year-old does not fit on it. And things like that. There are, the garden is already over there. That's a great space to continue that and have a walking path to go through town and connect out around the field, to have picnic tables and pavilions and seating areas for people to go sit and look at the flowers and the trees and the birds. All of those different opportunities are available. We have the space, and our ask as a community group is that however the vote turns out, that is the priority for the overall benefit of the town. It's not necessarily the most financial, but it is a very strong benefit for the social aspect of this town, the community aspect of this town, and that's something that Sabattus is lacking. I've lived here for 8 years now, and there's nothing in this town that I can do with my family. I have to outsource to out of town, and I'd love to bring my kids to a place in our own town and have those things here. We understand the building has faults, deficiencies, it needs repairs, we know it's closed for a reason. We've researched, we've talked to different contractors and people that have been involved in the process. We know a lot of the issues, we know there are more that will probably pop up. But our goal is to source funding through grants, through donations, through sponsorships from large businesses and things like that, as well as local support, not through taxes. Most of us are Sabattus residents as well, and we don't want our taxes to increase either. But our community deserves to have something for us to stay and be active in. And recreation is a huge part of our comprehensive plan. Recreation is a huge part of this area, and we have very limited opportunities for it.
I would just like to ask, the people here tonight who have come out specifically to support a community center rec space, can you just raise your hands? Thank you so much. I think that's pretty good for these meetings tend to be incredibly well, and because everybody's busy. I got out of a lacrosse scrimmage and I rushed here. And then you were already starting, and I was like, come on, get out here. So people are taking their time out of their day, out of their practices, they brought their children. I think that's a pretty big vote of confidence for using this space in a way that is beneficial for the whole community. And so, we'd love to see that happen. And we'd also love to see that happen in ways that are sustainable for the entire community. So I think that's it. It's, well,
I learned that last.
then there you go.
Does anyone from the board have any questions for me, community, guys? I'll open it up. Anyone from the audience have any questions?
Would the nonprofit
Can you state your
provide
name?
insurance? The name for the whole, having grew up.
Thank you.
Everyone knew me, but
I-
would you have insurance covering that? Because
We
like
would
along
have
that
insurance.
riverbank, since the dam project and irrigation and everything, it's very unstable and watching trees fall through the other back there.
Yeah.
And it's like a 10, 15 foot drop.
Yeah, so we are looking into that. That would be something that's necessary, that would be covered under a general liability insurance for the nonprofit, yes.
But we do have we work in collaboration with Instacart Land Trust, who has agreed to help us with the improvement plan repair to be able to improve the erosion that has happened in the back
Yeah,
space.
that you keep on to this.
And so that's all something that's already been in conversation. We had brought, I had brought a land and water grant conversation to the board for a while. And in that was that plan. And so, like I said, Amy Soberg from Instacart Land Trust has helped us develop that.
Now, what about the playground over there? Because everybody's been there recently, but that slide was all broken.
It is in rough shape, and it would be something that would likely need to be completely replaced.
And we have had a certified playground inspector come out and take a look at the, at both of those playgrounds, with the council permission, the select board's permission, that was given. And so, we were able to have that done. And we are waiting for a design plan to come back. From there.
I'm just
Can you
wondering,
state your name, please?
Angie, and I am a resident. I'm just wondering, because we're putting it up to vote, and it sounds like there's a lot, and again, I'll revert back to the Google thing. I went on 10 times. So to me, that is not trustworthy to speak for the town of Sabattus when I can go on it 10 times and make a thing. I understand what they're saying, it goes to percentages and all that, but that's my point, is that that's not really accurate. And I think that if we were to put it up and have somebody show some interest, that we would be able to maybe sell it to the highest bidder, take those funds and actually rebuild a place where it could be a usable
community center, similar to like here, where it has a kitchen, a space for them, and maybe an outside, and start from ground zero versus how much work does that building need cost-wise?
I don't have a number.
If you were to guess off the top of your head.
I don't
The
know.
school
Rick,
said 10
better?
million.
So 10 million in damages,
4.7 million over 5 years.
I do hear what,
4.7, either way.
I do hear what you're saying though, because there's a perfect spot right over here.
Right.
To put a, building, yeah.
And for us to keep batting our heads against the wall and having people do things or research on a place that we need to really actually see what the majority of the town, not what a select group, and I appreciate them all coming. I appreciate them even though, the woman that spoke about the softball field, and to kind of piggyback up what Nancy was saying, I don't think she was saying not to give it out. They're trying to make sure that our tax-paying people and their children have the ability to use something. So to me, it just seems like we're doing surveys, or we're doing this, or we're having people talk on behalf of the town for grants that's putting possibly like taxpayers up on the hook again, like a past grant that went out that we had to vote on. So like, where are we gonna draw the line in the sand and see what we actually gonna do versus trying to put an agenda out there already of what people want and try to force people's hand in that direction?
So I'm going to speak to the grant piece for just a second. So if they were self-sustaining, say building got sold to them, the town wouldn't be involved in any kind of grant. That would have to be grants that they went through as a nonprofit. That wouldn't tie into the town at all. It would be different if they leased it. If it was a lease, then yes, then it would be a town-owned property, and then grants would open up the municipal grants. But if they're freestanding, they would have to go after their own grants, and that wouldn't involve us.
And then the select board has also been presented grants that they, grant opportunities regarding land and things that we have not acted on because we're waiting for the town to decide on what to do with it. And so there has been some grant opportunities that we have not fulfilled, because we don't have that vote yet. So. And I understand that, but it seems like the past few meetings, and you as well, constantly push this school thing. And it's like, wait until after. We've already done the research. You've got your information. It's like we're beating a dead horse. Can we move on until the vote and then go from there? And then kind of going off what Kevin said, what are the safety issues? What, you know what I mean? Like, we could totally probably sell it and put something brand new up for our kids. Playgrounds, fields, a building, instead of just something that's $500 million to $10 million in damages. I mean, 5,000 to 10.
No.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of money.
Thank you. Anything else? Do you have anything else? No, I'm just, I feel like we're beating a dead horse. John?
So to piggyback on Angie's suggestion, at town meeting, can we make an amendment on this article that any money raised by selling the building will be specifically used for a community building?
No. It's too late.
Well, that was her suggestion,
I know, but it's too late to change the warrant.
but somebody could make that amendment at the town meeting, right? We're not reducing anything on the money.
Probably, yeah, I think you could do that on the floor because it's not appropriating money to raise and appropriate.
Sorry,
You said my name's not on tape. At town meeting, all you have to do is, if they decide to sell the building, the board of selectmen takes those funds, and then they request later on at a different date to take those funds and use it to build a building.
Right, and I think he's trying to lock it in at the vote.
I don't know if you can do that. I don't think-
For the try, I mean, that's what Angie suggested. I'm just following her.
All right, any other discussion? Thank you. The amendment or the agenda adjustment D request discussion.
So, we've had a number of emails going back and forth with kind of board requests going to Raquel. And I had made a suggestion, and I just wanted to kind of talk about it as a group, that maybe what we should do is when we come to our board meetings, if we have things that are non-urgent, if it's an urgent thing, then I think it still goes to Raquel and follows that process. But if we have requests that we want her to follow up on, that we could bring them to our regularly scheduled select board meeting and review as a board. It helps keep all of us informed, but it also will help us to identify themes, if there's themes. And it will give us an opportunity to say, yeah, we all support this. We want Raquel using her time for that. Or maybe that's a one-off and we're not all interested in it and it falls to the wayside. It also gives us an opportunity to push more on citizens when they reach out to us individually and say, I have a problem. And to kind of say, well, you know, our next board meeting isn't for 2 weeks. I can bring that up in that meeting, but if you actually want to get a resolution, reach out to Raquel and make the request through her, as they should be doing. So just my 2 cents worth, and I don't know if people agree with that, then do we have to have a policy around that? Or is it just an agreement that that's how we need to work?
No, I disagree with that, because if I have a question that I need, or like I want something on the agenda, and I want it on the agenda, I want to talk about it. I mean, and I don't want to sit here and, for instance, the cameras. I still have a problem with the cameras. This is something, yes, did I finally get the cameras? I did. But they're still not the way they should be. So, and then if you don't like it, Laura doesn't like it, Rick and George don't like it, then I never get anything moved, when it's really the community that is also wanting the cameras moved. You know, there's people talk. There's some things that the community members ask for, and they don't want to go and see Raquel, or they don't want to go see a certain board member, because then there's other people in the town that tear them apart. So we are voted in as a voice for the community members. And sometimes it's nice to have that one person to be able to go and say, hey, Raquel. And names don't always need to be brought up. I know people want to know where it's driven from, but that's where people get picked on, and that's where the negativity comes. I think we had a thing, George and Rick, by Thursdays, by 4 p.m. if it's not in, 4:30 p.m. we do have, is it written up? Did we push that up? Rick, is that written in paper saying by 4 p.m. So by 4 p.m. on Thursdays, if anything wants to be on the agenda for Tuesday's meeting, that's when it goes on. So I forget a lot, and I work 3 jobs. So if I want something on the agenda, I'm gonna send Raquel an email, and I want it on the agenda for Tuesday.
So can I clarify?
Yep.
I'm not talking about agenda items. I totally.
Oh, then I misheard you.
Agenda items are agenda items, and if I want something on the agenda, I see no reason why you can't email the chair or Raquel. I'm talking about specific one-off requests, like, hey, this happened, can you go investigate it? Or, when is Bodenham Road gonna get tarred?
Yes,
Or
let's talk about that.
Yeah, I had to do it.
So something must have came up where is this a problem, Raquel? Or
I just think there's a lot of those types of things that we're throwing at her, which will ultimately prevent her from doing the work that we as a board really want her to do, because she's getting all these other little things she's chasing down, and that takes away time from your day. Even if it's just a one little thing here or one little thing there, it doesn't allow you to get the bigger things done. So if we help to corral those little one-off things and make them happen in the board meeting, then it will allow her to focus her time on the bigger things, like the fire department grants and things of that nature.
okay, well, I just got slapped on the hand for something like that when I did that in the meeting. So I got slapped in the hand, but now it's okay to do it. I disagree.
So can I ask that?
It was an executive session where I got slapped in the hand.
Can I ask a question?
Not at all.
I think it's very important to separate operational things. And I think Raquel, you do a good job. If you need clarification or support, you ask for that. I think it's very important to have items listed on an agenda so people can know if they can participate. And I think if there's like a blanket item type of thing, I think that will get confusing to residents maybe, or like they'll feel like they aren't able to maybe trust that items are documented or things. I think it's important to have it listed out so people can choose if they attend or not attend meetings.
And it's working well with the agenda items going to you, and then you do whatever and you send them on to me. That works well.
I just have gotten slapped on the hand for speaking about things a lot in meetings. In the last executive session, probably set me off.
And I think also that there's the comments section, so maybe that's an appropriate space to, you know, highlight items. I think that George sometimes uses that, like, can that be added to the next one too, so it's publicly said. And then,
he forgets.
but then I know that our clerk goes back and reads things, and that's how kind of we remember to kind of put them on the next one too, but I think that's appropriate to say that. Did you have anything that?
Nope.
Did you have anything else, Nancy? Nope. Anything else to say?
I just think that at some point to report out from the town manager, you know, if we brought things to her for the week, you know, complaints otherwise, that she uses this time to report that out. This has been fixed, that's been done, this is what's going on. So again, it allows us, I mean, she does a great job at emailing us stuff that all going on by email, but I think that it's being aired across the town that, hey, I heard your complaint, I'm working on that, you know, we worked on it, we fixed it with whatever, so that people are aware that it's happened and fixed.
Well, I'm sure you communicate some of that back to people too, right?
If the person filed a complaint, yes. Yep.
So, I don't know, everyone always wants it aired maybe either, but I do see value too when like, this is still happening, these are updates or reporting or things. I see value too. Okay, next is approval of SelectBoard minutes from May 5th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Passes. Next is comments from the town manager.
I'm not seeing anybody.
Yeah, I thought you were going to.
While I'm talking, I'm gonna send these down. Sign with black pen, please. I'm sending a black pen, I've got one. I'm sending it with
thank
it.
you,
Yeah. I anticipated that. All right, so, informational meeting for the ballot. I know, historically, there hasn't been one of those. I'm gonna hold one on May 28th at 6 o'clock down here. I don't know how many people will come, but I'm gonna try to circumvent some of the questions that happen at town meeting. You guys can, or, I mean, it'd be nice if you showed up, a couple of you. If it looks like everybody's gonna come, I need to post it as a meeting, so let me know that if you're attending or not. It's, like I said, I don't know if people will come or not, but.
Can you repeat the day, I'm sorry?
Yep, May 28th, it's a Thursday at 6 o'clock. Holly and I are in Augusta all day at a budgeting class, but we're gonna come back and do that. And now that the warrant is signed, I believe the PowerPoint that I have put together, will be able to get that out onto the website tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, but by the end of the week, so people have a chance to look at the questions and see the comments and everything that are on there. This year's been challenging because of the cost centers moving. So I've explained it as best I can with charts and numbers, and I'm sure there's gonna be a million questions, but we're gonna get it up there. I was approached by someone to have a farmer's market here in the parking lot. I didn't know how the board felt about that, and if in fact we were gonna allow that, then if you wanted them to have event insurance.
Oh.
So I'm looking for thoughts on that.
I think it's great.
I think it's great as well. I just didn't know if you wanted to require event insurance in case there's something that happens.
Any?
Yes.
Yes, and that's what I thought, because it's gonna be a crowd, you know, it could be a small crowd, so, okay.
Well, that's exciting, it's coming back. Laura, good
I have a
work.
ton of paperwork, if whoever it is, who's up.
I got the name upstairs.
I have a whole binder of things, if
Okay.
they would like them, they don't have to.
Okay, I'll let them know. I'll call them tomorrow. Noelle, you mentioned the cameras.
Yes.
Is it the location of the camera that you're talking about?
It is the location.
Okay, so I've got them coming in to move the one that shows the back of my head
Yep.
all the time to the center. So we're working on that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, but the computer
With the
plays.
remote. Use the remote and move it.
Not to Raquel's face.
No, they want it in the center
Oh.
so that the whole board shows, and I don't disagree with that. So, yeah, we're working with the computer place to do that.
Thank you very much.
Yep. And the railing outside on the second door, that had fallen off, I don't know when, George, last fall, a year ago. I've got somebody coming to fix that. And the door is gonna be hopefully fixed on Thursday, the front door. I've posted that so the public knows to be aware that there's gonna be construction going on.
Thank you.
I think that's about all. I've been working on the grant and trying to wrap up budget stuff.
Thank you. Comments from the board, George?
All right, starting with number one, flags have been put up on Main Street, and they look great. I'm assuming Public Works will take credit for that, but, and then Jim left. I have a question on the Memorial Day Parade.
Oh, I might have an answer. Go ahead.
All right, time and place.
11 o'clock,
Okay,
and it starts at the Legion and goes to the Green,
all right,
down Main Street. See, I had an answer.
all right. Again, we talked earlier, but I'll just ask it now, is the current audit,
Yes, he's almost done, so I'm told.
and we have the forwarding letter that's in the town report.
What do you mean by forwarding?
Well,
We have
letter that
the,
accompanies it.
yes, that's in the town report.
And again, Jerry's still here, so he can give us the years of service, but Cliff Mishu from the transfer station is retiring, and Jerry's gonna tell us how long he's worked for the town.
14 years.
Wow.
14 years. And just thank him for his service, been there. Again, I made this request a couple of times.
Health issues.
To get the minutes of the meetings out sooner. I know everybody's busy, but I'm looking at if we can get them out, make time for her Wednesday morning.
George,
Yes.
we're busy. Have you been in the office?
I have.
She does the best she can do, unless you want to pay her overtime to do it after hours. You want to pay overtime?
Just be specific on what you're looking for, sooner, like an hour sooner, a day sooner.
A week sooner.
What?
No, I get it. Again, I have asked this to Raquel, and I'll let Raquel and them work it out, but, by the time I get it, I can't remember what I said.
And that's
anymore.
exactly what the problem is. We just can't remember.
So that's what we want.
Yes.
But I'd like to think that we could eliminate her from having to watch the video, if it's fresh in her mind tomorrow morning. That's kind of my thing, versus having to watch the whole meeting if it's 2 hours long to get all her information in order to get it done.
Well, she's only got 2 more meetings anyway.
Lucky her.
And then TJ will be
Alright.
switching back. Yep.
I want to remind the public that the current budget spreadsheet is on the website. If you go in the document library, that's available there. That's it.
No else?
I don't know. I'm all set. Thank you.
So I have a social media policy, a contract negotiation policy, and a remote policy that I would like on the next meeting agenda.
Can we take them one by one? Because we have to do first readings and discussion.
I know, but if we get them all done, then they go into effect.
Okay.
But
Wait,
we could maybe take 2, we could do 2.
She said social media.
Social media, contract negotiation, and remote policy.
Can we do social media and remote first? Since we don't have any contract.
Okay.
And I can send all three of them back up to you.
Yep.
So I have taken and made my version of them. So I'll send you my version. And then I was curious, what's going on with the police chief? Did we?
He has, yep, he signed on, so starting July 1st, he'll have a year contract.
Okay.
With the caveat that if he can find the perfect fit, that we let him leave.
So is he full-time when he signs on?
Yes.
That was it?
Rick?
Good.
Okay. Comments from the chair, I don't have any. Comments from the, did I miss anything? Okay, just checking. Comments from the floor, so I just remind you, to state your name, and address the board. Yes.
Yes, once again, my name's Kevin Brewer, I've resident on and off 65 years. This pertains to nothing to this meeting at all, but I said something at the planning board meeting a couple weeks back, so I figured I would just clarify. I was upset about the 96 apartment building that was being proposed to be put in right in the village. I thought that was an enormous amount of people coming all at once. I didn't see where the taxpayers were gonna benefit by revenue coming from these buildings, from what I understand and all the investigations I've done. It's a revenue thing as far as subsidized housing, tax rates. So all this comes in, people have to pay for all the upgrades, the roads, this, that. A road going from Green Street to Moline Pond Road, now the town is liable for sewer, water, everything. All he does is put some buildings up, bring in 96 people. He's off and gone for that. But what I said was at that meeting that I'm gonna make a citizen protest, or like a few people. And in 10 hours time, maybe 12, we got 384 signatures, and I submitted them to the town clerk today. Now that was only 12 hours time. So that showed me that, and only had 4 people say, no, they don't want to sign it. The only reason they didn't want to sign it was because they weren't aware of what's going on. 99% of the people didn't even know this was happening. Had no clue.
I was one of them.
So I've got DEP looking into it. They're still waiting to hear back from the code enforcement officer of why there weren't permits allocated to this. It was a wet name. I've got a lot of things going on right now, but I did say something. I said, I just want to show you people on board, and any board in this town, that the people feel this ain't right. Now, there was an ordinance back in the 80s, I do believe that was evoked. There used to be a population rate growth, and we got rid of it. I don't know why, it just went off the boards. And there was a certain gentleman in this town, I won't say his name, but he brought in thousands of trailers. Thousands, they were everywhere. They were everywhere. Now, you don't get tax money from the trailers like you would a house.
Yes.
But you get the families, and you get the burden on the town. And now we're allowing all these apartments to come in. What's the town gonna do? What's it gonna do? How are we gonna support all this? Do we wanna be Lewiston? Do we wanna be in the paper because there's gun shootings and this and that? Because it's gonna happen. I've lived in that town, I've watched it go from a quaint little town, and yes, it was a lot of places in there, but it was a mill town. The mills are gone. So you get all these people coming in, you got no businesses to support them. Where are they gonna work? What are they doing? Do they all just get a check? Don't know. So, I just said I'd come here tonight to say this because of what I stated in the planning board. I'm not done, I'll be going to the planning board meeting. I do want to go to whoever I gotta see about getting this ordinance back stated again. That Sabattus should have a great population limit. It should only be so much allowed coming into this town at once. We can't handle it. We can't just say, okay, everybody come in. Because it ain't working. Look at Lewis. Taxes went up threefold. Why did it take so long? They said, oh, well, because we haven't done evaluations. No. It's all the apartment buildings that brought it. The house, the people who ain't getting paychecks. So no taxes were in town. Now all the people are saying, hey, why do we got to pay this? So that's my say. That's all I want to say. I I did submit these petitions. We'll see where it goes. And I wanted to just say that because of what I said at the last meeting. I didn't want to sound like a guy that's making a threat. I just wanted to say that this was needed and it was done. And we're not finished yet. We'd like to get about 1,500 petitions, but this has only been, like I said, like 10, 12 hours at most. That's all.
Any other comments on the floor? Yes.
This is to the town manager, Rick
Please state your names and.
John.
Thank you.
Have you ever had any issue contacting me to get anything to do with the rec club?
I don't have any trouble getting a hold of you at all.
Okay.
I do it quite frequently.
Okay, I'm just wondering, because there seems to be an issue with contacting the rec club, so.
Do you run it?
I don't run it, it's a rec club that, anyway, it's not a department, and we don't have a department head. It's not
John.
a department of the town, it's a non-profit organization separate from the town.
John, we're not gonna do a back and forth with that. Do you have any other comments?
No.
Thank you. Any other comment from the, okay, we can just go down the line.
Okay. My name is Kelly, and I am representing the Sabattus Garden Club, which is located at 36 on New Pond Road. So I'd like to just share key points of the community center project efforts that I've led with the support and encouragement of the town of Sabattus Select Board, beginning in September of 2022 with Tony Ward. In November in 2022, a CNA result of which is a community needs assessment was done, and the results were provided to then town manager Tim Kane. With those results, we led and used the comprehensive plan to align with Sabattus visions for the future of rec programs to be able to be available for both the old and the young. Planning was undertook to be able to use and create recreation use of town-owned land. So we designed, developed, and implemented a series of community-led workshops for a community garden project that began in April of 2023. My graduate studies continued, and the work that I was doing in mentorship was with the previous town manager, led to a working relationship with the Sabattus Rec Club, established a sustainability plan for the garden's future. Again, aligning with this comprehensive plan on pages 11 and 12, stating outdoor recreation, the town of Sabattus will support the efforts of the Rec Club and maintain and expand its recreation opportunities, working together in a responsible time frame and an ongoing process. This resulted in the establishment of the Sabattus Rec Garden Club. Garden efforts have grown, and with an approval from the town to lease the garden's plot of where now the town of Sabattus has taken ownership of the 36 New Pond Road. This spring, the select board support allowed us to pilot a community compost program. I have been directly involved through all of the phases of the RSU4 consolidation work with the building and with the community building committee established by the town of Sabattus, and I can share that you should consider a long-term solution for the purpose of creating and sustaining opportunities for the town of Sabattus by leaning toward a comprehensive plan. On page 9, it states that prior to the sale of a tax-acquired property should assess its value as a town recreation resource and retain it for its value. That's part of the Sabattus strategies. It then aligns with page 12 and in a responsible time, working with the town manager and select board, that the efforts are ongoing and the building, the property can retain its value. My efforts in oversharing are more than just the Sabattus Garden Club, but rather a sustainability of the community that I've considered my home since I've moved here in 1988. Though I've moved back and forth, I'd like you to consider the economic development, and that's where my career has led to, of a community center for the town of Sabattus that's being pressed for services and resources that it's already struggling to stay afloat. With the proposed affordable housing units that are going to be developed over the next year across the street from the building, the community center can work with Maine Housing Authority to establish a partnership to provide training and education, employment, and financial literacy as part of the family self-sufficiency program for Section 8 voucher recipients. A community center can boost property values, it can increase tourism through events, support entrepreneurship, create collaborative workspaces, and improve the quality of life to retain residents. The municipality directly benefits from FSS partnerships, regardless of ownership of a building, but would also strengthen community relations and align with local resources to boost economic development and stability. I know that that's one of your board's concerns at a large capacity. In addition, the repairs and the service contracts that can be established are eligible to create pre and apprenticeship opportunities in a variety of trades, including HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and IT connectivity. Last month's meeting struck a point of how a nonprofit would pay no taxes, and that was a board concern. A nonprofit can choose to enter into an agreement with the municipality to pay property taxes. It's known as an unrelated business income tax, and totally an acceptable opportunity to create a customized sale agreement. With resident vote on June 4th, my request is that the board considers a sale of the property to an organization that satisfies the town of Sabattus comprehensive plan. Sections that have been previously noted in my work, but also to restore to a community, to a town that needs some positive growth. I will continue to repeat myself over and over because I believe in it and I want to be part of this community. And so I am part of this community and I will continue to share that message. So thank you for your continued support. It's made a big difference.
Thank you.
Megan Peacock, I would just like to share that I will be here with the toddlers again next Tuesday, 3:30 to 5. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, weather cooperates for us.
Okay. Any other comments from the floor? Okay. Important dates, select board meeting is June 2nd, 16th, 7th, July 7th, July 21, August 4th and 18th. Planning board meetings are May 26th, June 23rd, July 28th, August 25th. Information meeting regarding the town meeting articles is May 28th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Our annual town meeting is on June 4th, 26th at 6 p.m. Election day is June 9th. Polls are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Holidays that the town office will be closed is Memorial Day, May 25th, and Juneteenth is June 19th. I will also declare the meeting adjourned at 7:58.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Great. Opposed? None? Awesome. Have a great night. Thank you.
Because I didn't answer her phone call.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite emoji. Oh,
Here's my pen. My pen, black pen. Yeah, see, he's gonna walk off.
Okay.
I didn't even know where to begin.
I just think of it during the day and then I don't. So.
what are you talking about?
Yes, sir.
The well-being question.